Hello, anybody with me today? Straight up 3 o'clock. Just updating my text here, explaining the video. I also included my new challenge to myself to keep my tongue clean when I am live. So if any of you guys hear any of the cuss words that I mentioned in the text description, basically like a digital swear jar, call me out in chat. Of course, you have to be here and to hear it, and I have to have said something, and then you have to call it out on chat. Anyway, let's hope to hopefully that I don't say any of those cuss words during live. I'd like to think this keeps me clean if I go the whole video and not say a swear word, but gain viewers because you guys are trying to catch me. Then I think it's a win-win. If I do swear, then and you catch me and you interact with me in the vid chat, then I will have to pay towards my fundraiser as I promised, and that way it holds me accountable and I learn for future. But at the same time, there's a win-win for that as well, because my fundraiser will gain some funds and you guys will learn to trust my fundraiser. But here we are today. Thank you all for joining me. If you guys joined during the video today, stick around, leave a comment what you want to see, what cities you like, what goods you want to see me build up, etc., etc. And if yeah, I'm sorry, brain fart there. I'm going to go continue the city I started. I don't see anybody here yet. Hopefully you guys join shortly. If you do join and you want to see me change cities, I could do that. I could do just about any city in North America and just about any city in Europe. Basically coast to coast North America and all of Europe, from the edge of Russia down to the Mediterranean and up through England area. But without having any guidance, I previously started in Liverpool. I played there about an hour and a half. If you guys remember, I developed a couple goods. I connected to the city Carlisle. And so here we are actually looking at Carlisle as I load. I'm going to stall just because nobody's here yet. So I'll go ahead and ride the train out of Carlisle back to, I think, the grain or the corn. It is an antique train, I do know that. I will hopefully build, there's nothing here. I don't have any train cars, probably because I'm going to pick up the goods. Early on, I usually just have these trains going one way with goods and then empty or deadhead back to the supply. It's kind of choppy. Apologize about that. It's probably just a lag in the data between the Xbox and my streaming computer. Just saying hello to you guys in my chat. As if you join, you'll see my text. That's what I was just now texting. There is a delay. Usually it's about, I just showed up to the station for the corn, and I'm looking at the stream now. It's pulling up to the station. It's about a 2-minute, give or take, lag. Today's stream will be lagged or delayed about 2 minutes, give or take. So if you're seeing this, it's already happened, or if you're hearing my comments, it's already happened 2 minutes ago. So when I see your comments, I'll do the best I can within that lag time. So you might see a delay in my response, but that's just because of the lag. Alright, well, I think the first thing I shall do continue to build. Most important thing in this game, goods are good, like freight goods and stuff, are good if you have people. If you don't have people, goods don't do the city much. So the biggest income in this game that I know of, and early on when I first started playing a couple months back and I didn't know any better, I was always trying to deliver as much goods as I could to cities, and I wasn't making hardly any money, and the goods were getting clogged up because the low population in the cities. There wasn't much of a demand, so trains were waiting. I was constantly readjusting the routes and stuff like that, and I figured out and all that, and then somebody finally gave me a suggestion or a comment one time. I need to have I need to have people in my cities before I can get goods to them. So even though I've got two goods set up, I've got the Metcham train, corn going to Carlisle. I even got the Clark train station for, what is that, milk, sugar? I get milk and sugar mixed up. Milk, I believe. So you come here, you can see all the different goods I could possibly establish. No, that's salt. Milk and salt look similar. Sugar is usually just cubed. Salt looks like the pepper and the salt shaker. And then the milk has the 2 bottles of milk. So it's 3 bottles of milk. So they kind of look similar on the icons. So sometimes I get stuff there. I think if I'm going to get these connection bonuses, I got to buy this land. I have 72 days for there. I get 220 if I get it connected. 72 days for there. And I'm likely going to think that 72 days for here, because all the 6 connection bonuses you get are the same time frame from the beginning. Once I get those connected, I will have future connection bonuses as offers that come randomly from different sources, but they're not always going to be in increments of 6, usually 1 or 2 at a time. So let's get something built. I'm going to go here into Wales. I want to try to get to Holyhead. 192 to get access to Wales. Concession is what they call them, but to me it's just basically getting rights. So I bought that. Holyhead's going to be a dead-end city. I'm not sure if I can build it with one station for both goods and people, but we shall try. If I put it far enough back, I think I'll have enough room to do both. Yeah, I think that'll work. I did kind of get that kind of close, but I think I can make that work. That is awfully close. Nope, that'll work. As long as it says max and it's going straight out, which usually it will if it says max. I mentioned before I can angle off. I can go in and this way, and it shows max there as well. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to go very far this direction. The building's there. Notice it says max, but the track is red. It won't let me build that. Understandably so. So if I decide to bend the track, I'll at least try to go 6 miles as indicated in the detail box to the left, to the right. Nope, that's not 6 miles. Come on, 6 miles, right there. That's about 6 miles. And then get it back to max speed. If I build off that as a blueprint, then it will adjust and bend the track, and I don't necessarily want to do that. So I'm going to build it first, and then that way I can put the parallel. So this will be the freight supply for this, but I'm going to branch it off so the wheat grain can also go this direction. So I'll have a T intersection for freight here, and then I will build my passenger line off of here, also going this direction. I'll have two different lines going that way here in a moment. Is my goal. Let's see anybody. I don't see anybody with me yet. Hopefully you guys get a chance to join me today. Live here on Railway Empire 2. Just get to play with and build trains all day like Tabletop Railroad. Tabletop train sets. I used to love playing those tabletop train sets when I was a kid. To me this is like no different. This is just the same, just as fun. I want room to bend because I'm not going to be able to go straight in. So I need to bend it wide. I need the track to go way out here. I don't want it to go too high on that mountain on the T. So I got a lot to think about here real quick. If I put it over here, it's going to be literally hanging off a cliff. It's going to be hanging off a cliff either way. Anybody's joining me, thank you for visiting, stopping in, checking out, sticking around. And give me a like, thumbs up, leave a comment for a suggestion, city, goods. I'll take a tour real quick. Looking around UK. I paused the game, so I'm not going to lose time. I don't want to. If I lose time, I'll lose money on those connection bonuses. So if anybody sees any of these cities, this is all of England. I'm actually going to look around real quick. I was just thinking I need to find if that third adversary of mine, yes, I'm a lady. I started off this game at the beginning as a lady. It was a random selection because nobody was here to request either one. Looks like he did finally build something, so I'm going to go find Rolling Thunder's office. I know that one of them was up here. Where'd it go? One's right here. So I'm looking through these cities, take a moment to glance at it if you're with me. If you join later on, get an idea of what I'm doing. Hopefully you can catch me in future lives. If you missed today, but you catch the video post live. Again, I'm just trying to do live audience-led gaming. So you guys show up, leave comments, have a conversation, discussion with me. Maybe you want to give me some advice, make suggestions, so I do this, this, and this, and maybe you're trying to teach me something. Maybe you like a city, or maybe you have a family member in one of these cities, or so there's Barcelona. I knew of him already. I'm trying to find the third adversary, third artificial intelligent competitor. He's got to be around here somewhere. It shows he's building something now. But as I was saying, hopefully you guys give me comments, suggestions. You want to see me connect here or connect this good and build that city and connect that city to my main. That's what I'm hoping that I can develop on YouTube. I still don't see, did I not look everywhere? Where is this third character? Game's paused. I'm not worried about time in the game. I'm just worried about time in the video. I don't want to waste the entire video looking for this guy. But I want to know where my third adversary is. At the moment, I don't have anybody with me, but that doesn't mean I want to waste the whole video looking for whoever this third character is. Just looking for any city with a single track sticking off. I could zoom in, but it would take me forever to zoom in and out of every single city. Each city, whatever city has a headquarters, each city will have that building right there. That's the headquarter building. So even if the third character has not built anything, I could zoom in and find his city. I would see that building, but I don't know which city to look at. I keep worrying that eventually he's going to develop something close to me, and I'm going to find out that he's going to be in England somewhere. So far, he hasn't built anything in England. So I don't know if he's in England or not. There's the Barcelona guy. So if I'm looking in the map down below in the bottom right, I'm sorry if my face kind of covers it. I do fade my image a little bit, so hopefully you can see through it. But I'm looking in the bottom right. I see the 3 white dots in England. Those are mine. I see a yellow dot up in Sweden area and a yellow dot down in Spain area. Be between Spain and France in Barcelona. But I don't see a third yellow dot on that map. But I thought it showed he's got 1 active rail line. This guy's got 1 active rail line. Trains in use 1. And this guy's got 1 active rail line. So all 3 have an active rail line now. There should be a third city somewhere. I've still yet to find it. I'm really confused. Anyway, like I said, I don't want to waste. I'm going to go look over here one more time. Where is his headquarters? I don't know. Alright, well, just go back to what I'm doing. What am I doing, you might ask? I'm going to connect McGowan terminal to Holyhead, and then connect Holyhead to Liverpool, passing through that wood. I'm going to set it up to where these will be separate rail lines. I'll have a T intersection over here somewhere. No tunnels. It wants a tunnel though. It's going to be awfully close to Holyhead. Only 2 tracks will line up. This third track is just an extra. I always try to do 3 tracks on either side from either direction, going to or from a station. And I'll explain momentarily, but with the 3 tracks, I'll do 2 tracks in, 1 track out. And that includes extra options for any state trains going in to have extra stations to pull into. It's going to be a short gap. I usually like a much longer stretch. I like room outside of the gridiron, so that a train can park. This one's not going to have it because of the distance between the two. I don't think it'll make much of a difference. Probably won't get a whole lot of attention there, at least not anytime soon. This will be the freight line continuing from this side going to the other side, and I will demonstrate. It might be the first chance I get to demonstrate how I connect different freight lines and passenger lines together, but they will not be the same track. Two tracks always, one going one way, one going the other way. That way trains can pass each other without having to wait for each other. And this is going, because of the short distance, usually I'll close off the 3 into 2. Because of the short distance, I'm going to use this third track to connect to the other side. Actually, I'm going to make sure I've got enough room for the gridiron first. Yes. Stretch the gridiron just a bit. Huh. That should connect, and it didn't want to. Oh, I know why. Sometimes, and there's a glitch in the game, sometimes it adds an extra pin or marker, track pin, on the ends, and it confuses future tracks. I'm sorry, my boom mic was far away from my face. I hope that my voice has been heard. So I'm going to delete that access, and then I'm going to rebuild. There we go, that should work. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, there we go. Nope, that's not gonna work either. So it won't work one way, and I see this a lot. I make it work the other direction. And I'll demonstrate how I do that. See, that'll work. Build it, and then continue to build it. And usually it'll fill in. Just like so. So both of these tracks are going to be opposite to each other, but because they don't meet until the actual gridiron, the gridiron is two-way. So allow me to demonstrate real quick. This track will be going in that way, and oh no, I hit that too many times. Going out that way, while this track will be going this way and that way. So either way, both tracks are right lane passing on the right. And they won't conflict here because the train can choose to go in. One train can go in while the other train can go out. Not at the same time, obviously, but one train will come in and then switch tracks, like go over here or whatever, and then another train over here will come back out and go this way, if that makes any sense. I see it all the time. I've done that plenty of times. So that's usually my 2 to 3 track conversion if I have to split a gridiron going 2 different directions. That's kind of how I do that, especially when there's limited space in this, particularly this kind of scenario. So all that right there is just going to be my freight. So now I'm going to have to set up. And because of the tight space, it's going to stay actually, yeah, right lane out. So this will be a right lane exit for the passenger. Doesn't reach max, but it's not always going to. Right lane out, this will be right lane in, passenger only. That's why these are not going to connect to the other rails. It's not quite max, but that's going to be okay. Sometimes I have to make exceptions. And then this will be the added lane. And I can probably go full 12 miles on this one like I usually like to for the passenger. So that's right lane out. This is right lane in. And alternate entrance. See once again, 2 lanes in, 1 way out. So the train will enter either lane going in. When it leaves, it will only leave the exit. But all 3 lanes are accessible once you're in the gridiron. So the trains will be able to swap back and forth to choose whatever lane it needs, in or out. So that's the setup of Holyhead passengers. And I just realized I have a really tight setup there. That passenger cannot be used until at least, I don't know, eventually I might try to build a bridge to get the passenger to swap sides, because the passenger's on this side, the freight's on this side. The only way to get those out, the passenger out to like come down here, if I decide to build this Swansea, I'll have to build a bridge, but I'll worry about that later. I could do more passengers, and I might do that. I might have to do that eventually, but I'm gonna miss my connection bonus if I don't get these connected. Actually, it's paused right now anyway, so I'm not worried about it. So next I'm going to build the wood station because it's going to pass through here anyways. I'm going to get the wood station built, and I'm going to have 4 lanes going through the wood. Actually, no, I might just do all 6. No, I don't know. It's going to be a tight squeeze if I do. I like 6 lanes because both freight and passengers will each have 3. But I don't know if I'll be able to do 6 here. I might be able to. So from the 3rd track out, it's going to connect here. Already wanting to build a bridge. It's a fancy bridge. I don't get bridges like that in the US. I like that bridge. I don't want a bridge right now. Thinking of whether or not I want to swap sides. I could probably swap sides if I do a bridge. But I don't, that's too close though. Somebody was here, give me a suggestion. I don't see any comments, but I see that I've had a few visitors. If you're stopping in, checking out, if you hear this, stick around, leave a comment, have a conversation. Tell me cities you like. I could try to build out of that city with you involving in the conversation. And hopefully I could build the city, build whatever goods you suggest, request, etc. Trying to build an audience-led gaming, live gaming. Audience-led live gaming. I'll get used to that saying one sooner or later. It's going to be a tight squeeze here too. I'm not going to try to create the extra room that I normally do. I don't know why it doesn't like it. Probably because of the bend. That works. That little extra gap gave me the max speed I wanted to see. That's what I was trying to get. I wanted to see the max speed. Two in, one out. Again. Now it'll be slightly different for this one. First I'm just going to set it up like this. But I'm going to destroy that here in a moment. And I'll explain why after I do it, just so you can see what I'm doing. Oops, I don't want to delete the whole thing. Well, that was dumb. So that's going to be the extra. So the reason why I didn't want to do that first one, because extra lane always goes to the right. So this will be the main line, and then the other one will be the extra, and then it'll leave me room for three lane gridiron, and then I'll have enough room for that extra to have like a small parking spot for one of the trains going in and out for a passenger, and that's what that gap is for. So now that I built that, this will be the right lane exiting the city. Not city, but the station. This is only for Little John Terminal, Little John wood supply, lumber supply. Take a little bit off, just to make sure there's enough room for a decent conversion to this, I hope. Oh, yes, look at that. Now, if I hadn't done that backwards, I could have made that work. It's just, it would have been a little bit more complicated to figure out how I was going to make that work. So it's literally the same thing that I could have done backwards. And again, right 2 lanes in, 1 lane out. If that makes any sense to anybody. And then I gridiron. And since I already have 1 gridiron there, I know how far I can do the gridiron. If I've got 2 gridirons next to each other, I try to line them up like that. So it looks like they're the one, but they're not one. It just, to me, it looks more even, more balanced. I don't like it when the gridirons are offset from each other. So if you're not paying attention, or if you're just joining me to other people not knowing what I was doing, that looks like 1 solid gridiron. That's 2 separate gridirons. Both gridirons are 3 tracks. 1 side for passengers, 1 side for freight. Just seeing how much room I have, wiggle room I have getting past the red. I probably need to angle it. I don't like angling them all the time, but I'm going to angle this one. That is awfully close. Make it work. All these will be freight. I wonder. No, it's not going to work. I'd have to do 6 iron. I was thinking if I swap sides with the station, but in order to do so, I need to make a 6 iron gridiron. Which I suppose I could do that too, but then it would just get confusing trying to decide what's what. I don't think I'm going to do that. Basically, if I combine the gridirons, if anybody's wondering what I was talking about, if I combine the gridirons, then that way freight could come in from one direction and leave going the opposite side of the tracks. Notice again, as I've got the 3 right tracks are freight and the 3 left tracks are passenger. So if I combine the 2 gridirons together, then the 3 gridiron freight can make 3 gridiron freight going this way and passenger on the right, but I'm not going to do that. I'll find another way to get the passenger swap sides for future tracks. Right now I'm just trying to get these connected. Those are 3 freight. Sounds like a circus in the background. I guess I could be a circus in some ways, sometimes. Everybody stopping in, sticking around, checking things out. I just want to thank you for showing up. If you're here and you hear this, stick around, leave a comment, have a conversation with me. It'd be nice if somebody would leave me a suggestion. Just trying to see what people would want me to see me do. Want to see me play as. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted. Stretch this up a little bit. I'm trying to get to where they divide, they separate from each other. They were only together going through because of the space here. Once I get past this, I want to try to separate them a little bit. So if this stays passenger all the way to Carlisle, and that would be freight coming here. Freight would come through here. I might change my mind here. Make this the hotel only. Oh, I'll have hotel researched. Duh, I'm in the beginning. I forgot. I started in 1830, which I don't like to do, but here I am, so. Well, that's a bummer. When do I get hotels? Just looking through my research tree, as you guys can see. I'm trying to see when I'm going to get hotels. Hotels, right there. I had it selected, I didn't realize it. So hotels constructed at railway stations provide travelers with a lodging and food while waiting for their connecting trains. And then I always combine hotels with the restaurant, which you already saw I have. Alright, so I can't build a hotel there yet, but I'm going to put a hotel there. Hotel is going to go there. Hotel's not going to go in Hamilton. Hamilton's going to be freight only. Hamilton station is going to be freight only, so this is going to be the freight station only for Liverpool. So I'm going to build, I do want to swap sides. Told you guys, eventually I was going to break something, fix things, rearrange things, and that's kind of what I'm going to do right now. It's going to be very difficult, and I'll show you how I rearrange. I work with it to rearrange. That's not going to work, you say. I know. I'm not going to use all those. I'm just trying to use them to space. And I'll try to do the same thing here. Oh, come on. Can only have three stations in one location at one time. That's why I have to build the second one and then delete one. And then I'm going to use this side instead. So notice now I can drastically change my angle now that I'm on this side. Now watch how I work this magic. Massive change of an angle. Now that I did that, I remove this. Look at that. That is the station I want. Cost me a little bit. Worth it. Every penny. If I make it work. Running out of money though. Question is, how am I going to make this work? It all lies in the elevation. Time to get crafty. Crafty. Notice I had to do all that before I could figure out what I wanted to do here. That's why sometimes I try to think ahead. If I would have thought about that earlier, I would have known, and then I wouldn't have built that the way I did. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here. I'm going to drop a few lines, couple 100 feet, I guess. I'd like that to be max. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Bring this back. Come on. Keep screwing me because it doesn't like what I'm doing. And since this is the right lane exiting for the passenger, I could still build 3 tracks going all the way as far as I need. So that's max, that's max. Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. You guys are gonna love this. This is gonna be crafty craftsmanship. I'm telling y'all. Straighten that up, get to max, boom. that tiny bridge really necessary? Actually, it's a pretty big bridge, but I don't want it there. So I'm going to have a bridge somewhere else. I just want that max, that 38. I need that max. Come on, give me max. No bridge. Oh, yes. When it works out well, it works. And it's awesome. Kind of wobbly. I know. Wait till you see the final draft of the craftiness. $12 miles? Can I get 12? No. Too tight. Let's get 8. Get the third gridiron. We'll worry about the extra later. Typically, the gridiron for 2 tracks is 4 miles, give or take. For 3 tracks, it's 8 miles. For 4 tracks, I believe it's 10 to 12 miles. It's actually slightly shorter than you would expect because it rearranges the crossings for the 4 track compared to what the 3 track is doing. Oh, that's what I wanted. Oops. And I can actually still have enough room. So usually my 12 mile projection is just a good like reference. I'm assuming sometimes I can do as little as 10 miles. And I think I've got plenty of room right there for the gap. Let's get that rolling. I'll worry about that right here in a minute. Now that that's connected to Liverpool, I'll come back here. I couldn't do this earlier because Holyhead was not technically part of my system yet, my network. Then that way, McGowan or Holyhead would not have had either connection bonus. Now that both of those have a connection bonus, I'm going to connect both of those together. The moment this grain train shows up, I'll complete both connection bonuses. It'll be sweet. Don't need any of the extras right now. Get that grain going. Just do minimum 2. Go as much as max as 8. Don't need the liquor or the brews because it's only going to go back and pick up more grain. Go, go. When you're in train ride mode, you can actually blow the horn. Notice the controls down below, left trigger. That's me blowing the horn. It's not much of a horn, but in future research on the research tree, you can improve that horn. Let's do it. Notice my money, 705. Watch, pay attention. Oh, wait, let's demonstrate what the math is going to look like. 264,000. 220,000. Do the math. That's a little over 5. That's about 540, I think. 540,000. Plus the 707,000 I currently have. This should put me up to around 1.4 million is my guess. It's a preliminary what I call fuzzy math. I'm not going to pull out a calculator and see what it looks like. Just my way of doing fuzzy math. So as that train goes to connect, I should have about 0.54 million, or close to 1.4 million overall. Once that connects. Watch it, watch it, watch it. And by connection, to verify connection, it has to unload. The first good that drops is unloaded. Both connections will be completed. And boom, 220,000. Boom, 264,000. Boom, 1. Oh, I guess my fuzzy math was bad. I got 1.2 million now. How'd you like that? Plus, I got 16,000 right there from the goods alone. Haha. Like it, like it, like it. So that is Hollyhead. This will have a hotel sooner or later. Not yet, because I don't have hotels researched. I'm going to rearrange. So this will be my passenger. So my plan is, unless somebody wants to see something different, hello to anybody who's joined me in the channel. Leave a comment, say hello in the chat. I'll respond back if I see it. And make a suggestion, request something, something you want to see in game. And I'll do my best to comply. And with that out of the way, my plan was I'm going to rearrange Liverpool. So this was the first station I put in Liverpool, and I said before I was going to destroy it. I'm not going to destroy it, I'm going to leave it there. But that's just going to be freight only. And then I'm going to build a bridge from this freight line right here to go to that station. And then I will also have a T intersection here. Freight will continue to Manchester. So I have a freight Manchester side and a freight and passenger on the left. So that passenger will then come out of there and will connect to here. So then this freight line is going to change. Because remember, the right side for Clark will be freight. So I'm going to have to gap them a little bit because I'm going to end up building a bridge over one. Let's see where this bridge is going to go. I look for what looks like the most likely canyon looking spot. So I want to keep this track how it is. I'm going to break it right here. Oh, there's a train on there. See that big green thing? I'm going to wait till the train goes. Wait till the train finishes. Which could take a while. So I'm going to go to 3x. Speed it up there, tough guy. Chug, chug, chug. Get over there. Once it enters the gridiron, it'll be safe. I could go and destroy this track right now. If I cut it right here and destroyed only back, it would still remove the train. I don't know why it does that. It shouldn't affect the train if it's already passed. But I've learned the hard way, you have to wait till the train enters the gridiron, and then it will be safe from any edits you do behind it. I could show you to prove it. I don't think I should. Just trust me when I tell you. Unless the train has reached a safe point, any edits you do behind the train will remove the train and reset it. So now that he's in the gridiron, he's safe. I pause the game. Notice that the train stopped. I paused it. I come over here. I make sure there's no other train coming. If there's a train over here, but he's on this side of the gridiron, then that means he has not left his safe zone. I don't see a train there right now, so I'm good. But if a train is over there and it looks like he's about to leave, and you know the edit's going to affect him, as long as you pause it when the train is still on the gridiron, you can destroy the track ahead of it, and it won't affect it as long as you fix the repairs or fix the gap, whatever is destroyed, and then unpause. The train will continue on like it's supposed to, and the edit won't affect it. If you do so after the train left the gridiron, it is no longer in a safe zone, safe spot, the moment you destroy the track, even though the train's not there yet, even if it's paused and you fix it after the fact, it'll still remove the train. Believe me when I say I've done it before. It's kind of upsetting, but at the same time, now that I know, I try not to do that. Actually, I have another idea. What if it just goes straight out? Just goes straight out, and then over here, we'll have a T intersection to come over here for the passenger lines. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut all the way to the gridiron. That's what I'm going to do. Cut all the way to the gridiron. At the turn. I'm going to go to the turn, place a marker. Place the marker right there. Cut all the way to the gridiron. Boom. Gone. Now watch, I'll demonstrate. Hold on. Gone. Now come back over here. Notice the train's still there? It's because he's inside the gridiron. If I did that before, the train was literally right here before the gridiron, and I cut the track behind the train, it would have made that train reset, meaning you would have gone back to the beginning of the route that it's currently on. Whatever direction it goes, it would have gone back to the beginning of the route going in that direction. As long as you keep it on pause, it won't affect the train. If I unpause it right now, even though he's not coming in this direction, he would continue until he parked here in Hamilton, and then it would say, hey, the track is broken, it cannot continue. So just letting you all know, if you haven't played this yet and you're looking to, be careful with that. So going back over here, we're going to cut this all the way to the gridiron. Notice it went that direction before, so now I'm going to come down this way. I'll try and keep it on the same line so it stays at the same altitude. Take some editing real quick. I don't mind a little elevation. If it's huge bricks, I don't like it unless it's absolutely necessary. Like the side of a cliff, I allowed huge bricks over here because of the size of the cliff. But over here it's not necessary, so I try to make it to where I don't see bricks. That, I don't know. I could bend the track in if I want, and it would probably alleviate those bricks. Still max. I guess I can make it work. Drop the elevation. There will be more tracks to the right of this, so I'm not worried about that slight hill. And, well, it's going to have bricks here. Actually, no, I'll drop that. Nope, wait. I want it all to be 0. As close to 0 as possible without looking like it's cutting through. See, to me that just looks better. Small brick walls, I'm okay, I guess. Large brick walls, I don't know. The setback is if I pull it back out bring it way over here. And it's just going to be a lot of wobbly. Notice it's already going left one side. Actually, pull it out anyway. So far 0, 0. Oh, there's one there. No, it doesn't matter. See, if I go up here, that makes that 0, but now this is 2%. So if I bring this down, so this 2% will drop down to 0, but that's 1%. So that's less of a change or grade between these two than over these two. So that looks better. Build that. Remember what I'm doing. I could have actually. Well, it's too late now. Passenger's gonna come over here, I was thinking. Question is, that's a hill. That's on a hill right now. So now I gotta decide. Oops. Oh, I had the window open. What was I thinking? I disconnected everything, so now Carlisle is no longer connected to my station, and that means Carlisle is a rogue city, and it cannot allow rogue cities. So it's a perfect teaching moment here. I can't build any other station like I want to, because if you read the detail down below, you must first connect the train station in Carlisle to your rail network before you may construct another train station in a city. So I can no longer connect another city until I reconnect to Carlisle, only because of that edit. So because I did that, I can't continue my plan until I reconnect. So what I'm going to do is build this, because I know I'm going to put a bridge. I don't have another mountain to cross over to, so what I'm going to do is kind of line it up. This will be temporary, so I'm just going to connect it for now. I'll probably end up deleting this, re-editing it. I just want to get it connected so Carlisle's connected. That's kind of what it's going to look like. And then this will also give me options. So this will now be freight only. This will be my passenger, and now I have options like the freight will continue and pick up freight over here. I could decide if I want to do freight on either side here, or I can bring freight from here to go here. It just gives me plenty of options. I know from this perspective, because I'm going to bring this freight over and connect to Liverpool here. There will be a bridge going over because of the drop in altitude between the track there. So that'll be a bridge. I'll have the choice of continuing the freight up going this way to connect up here, which will probably actually drag that. I'll drag that freight all the way around and connect to the sugar here, and then come into Manchester. So that'll be slightly offset. So freight on Manchester will be on the right, while passenger will be on the left, and then I will likely keep freight on the right going into, what is this, York? And I'll keep freight on the right going into York. So eventually have another bridge over here somewhere so freight and passenger can transfer. That's my plan. But at the moment, that's how all that's going to be set up. So let's go ahead and reconnect. Now that I got Carlisle reconnected, I'm going to gap it just a little bit. Oh, no. See, again, even though I'm in the same city, I want to build the next station so I can stretch it out a little bit, but it won't let me. Because, as I notice, I must first connect a train station in Manchester to your rail network before I may build and construct another train station in a city. That includes the very same city you're working in. So that was the same message for Carlisle, but now that I connect to Carlisle, I can't add a second station until I build. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just a trash track, like I'll just throw something up there real quick and then delete it once I get the second station or whatever I'm comfortable with station. I'm just going to delete that in a minute. The reason why I'm doing this, and I'll show you in a minute, notice the difference in altitude. This is a huge climb from Liverpool 2 all the way up to the first Manchester, whereas this has at least some altitude I could play with. So I could stretch out the gridiron here, so come out here and the gridiron will still at least be somewhat level, and then it would drop altitude to Liverpool. I might end up destroying Liverpool and kind of bending it a little bit so it coming this way. Yeah, and then the other Manchester will be over here. To connect for the sugarcane. And then from this side of the station, it'll have plenty of room to go out this way for the gridiron. And then it will connect here. But it will also set up a T intersection to continue over here. By T intersection, I mean something like this. I have a T intersection over here coming out of Holyhead for my freight line. I do not have a T intersection for my passenger line. Passenger line will only go through Lincoln Terminal. There's a lot of mountain here. There's not a whole lot of room here to work with, so I'll probably have any passengers out of Holyhead to go for future connections to a Swansea will likely come through here and then come back around to Swansea in the future. I might just leave all that just like it is and then everything come around this mountain, only because that mountain's so big. That looks like a mess right there. That looks nasty. I do not want to mess with all that. Just like over here, the other mountain. I've never been to England. I would like to travel one day and go to England. I'm looking at this map. If it's accurate, I'm like, dang, England's full of mountains. Reminds me of like the Rocky Mountains or something in Midwest of America. Anyway. Coming up on 4:15, I'm going to try and get a little bit more of this edit done. Actually, I'm going back and forth. So I know I connected all this. I built it. I thought it looked great. I'm going to keep most of that, but I'm going to rebuild a station. Oh, I bet it's not going to let me. Because I destroyed the connection for the other station. Oh no, it's going to let me. Ha ha ha. I don't know why. I don't know how I got away with that. So if you notice what I'm kind of doing, I'm readjusting. I'm keeping the same idea. I'm just slightly changing the angle, so I have more room to work with the gridirons, and I don't have to bend the gridiron too much. Like I said, I wanted that straight to come up here, so the track can meet the gridiron over here for Manchester 3. Which usually I'll start changing names eventually. Liverpool 3 or 2, now going to be 3, will turn into Liverpool Main, and then I'll have Liverpool Freight for the other one. That way I remind myself which stations are which when the tracks are all set up. I don't have any of that set up right now. So now that I got that new station, to destroy all that, reconnect this to the new and rebuild that gridiron. It's close to max fit. Too sensitive on the joystick. That's why sometimes everything's slow. I'm going slow, so I'm adjusting as slow as possible to get fine-tuning that I want. It's almost a straight line. I think it's a degree off. That's as good as that's going to get. If I wanted to do full 12 mile, I could. Wait, hold on. My full 12 mile, I could do it right there and then connect it. That's a long stretch. I think, well, 10 miles, I think, right there. So if I try to connect it from right there going around the curve, it would give me a problem. Now that it's going there, I have all this straight, so that's what I'm going to do. Nope. I want that closer. Try to get the max. So why was max here but not up here? Well, part of it, if it comes up here, it's readjusting for the altitude change as well as the curve. So that's why up here it said 40 for a moment. If you rewind back, it said 40. Gridiron. That's plenty of room, actually. That's plenty of room. I wonder if I don't even think I need all that. Alright, never mind. Let's do... I don't know. Just because of the curve, I think it's going to mess that up. I'm going to keep it right now. For now. I might readjust later. Even though I want it to go on the stretch, I'm going to first connect the tracks together. Like so. And then put pins in place. Readjust how I need it. And I do want it to drop a little bit, but from here it would have been a huge drop. Actually, I'm going to delete that. So indecisive, I know. Sometimes on this game it takes that. You have to play with multiple options, alternatives, until you get what you like. Sometimes you see what you like, the first option, sometimes you don't. Because it's going to be a tight space. I'm going to do 6 miles there. That's why I did that. I wanted 6 miles out. Oops. Wrong button. Coming up close to 4:30. Been an hour and a half live. Anybody's with me, go ahead and give me a shout out. Say hello in chat. Leave a comment if you got a request for city. If I get any kind of a conversation going with you guys, hopefully I will stick around. I might stick around up to an extra 30 minutes if I got any kind of a conversation. I just want to see if anybody has a request. If anybody likes what I'm doing, wants to make any suggestions, requests, anything along those lines, I'll try to continue doing what audience leads me to do. Right now I'm just kind of throwing things out there, and when you want to see something, if you play this game and you've got a question, go ahead and put a request out. I'll kind of show you what I'm doing, or kind of help you understand what I'm doing so you get a better idea, you know, yada yada yada. So again, that's probably 6 to 8 miles out right there where that pin is, but that's about 6 miles actually. But that works because both sides say max, everything's good. Not too big of a climb or drop. Climbs, drops, and everything, they do adjust your speed. You want to keep everything as level as possible, balanced as possible, but you can't help it when there's elevation. So that's the best way I can deal with all that change in elevation. If anybody's not familiar with the game, or if you're already familiar with the game, you're not sure, elevation is presented by the lines, the change in lines. And I explain that in the future, but as you zoom in, there's more lines added, just to show you how fine-tuned the difference in the elevation is. You zoom out, the lines kind of disappear. Can't tell the difference in elevation much looking at just the scenery map. I mean, you could definitely tell this is higher than everything down here, but you can't really tell how high. So a lot of times when I'm building, I use lines. And that's why I offset the difference in the stations. To make sure at least the gridirons were both fairly balanced. So as I've explained before, in case anybody misses it, 3 lines going in or on either side of a station, 2 lines in, 1 line out. And this gives plenty of opportunity for any trains approaching a station to choose an alternate option. When there's only 2 lines, options are limited. When there's 3 lines, whatever options could be limited by one train or another, usually taken care of by the time another train shows up. One train's already left. It does not like that curve. A little bit extra, and then found it. Yes, right there. Alright, so like I was saying, I'm gonna go ahead and name these real quick. No, not quite. I'll do that later when I'm offline. I'll go through and adjust a lot of names so I don't waste you guys. And that way, next time you see this, if I continue this build up, you guys will see the adjustments. Anybody sticking around with me right now? If you're in chat, say hi, hello, leave a suggestion, comment, request, etc. I'm going to back these off just a little bit. It's all red because I'm not connected to the station. Again, I've said this before, but hold on, let's see if it... Huh. I'll figure all that out in a minute. I wanted to demonstrate why it requires a station, but it's not helping me out right now, so... Come on, what is wrong with this? Ah, here we go. Nope. Ah. Interesting. I don't know why he's being stubborn, but... Don't need that pin in, I don't think. Oh, come on. Really? Sometimes I need to learn just to leave things alone, and to me it's not enough. I want everything to say max. There we go. Tell me. Oh, it's good. Wait, 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 wait. It's gonna be awesome. Why is that not working? No reason for that red. None whatsoever. There's a way to fix this. It's just annoying. What is this? Yeah, that. I'm getting frustrated. I don't want to cuss, and I'm not going to. Sometimes you have to do bits and pieces at a time. Instead of doing the all the way from station to station, which normally it should. It's kind of close, don't you think? Not like how the wall, the wall sticks out like that and hits the track. In real life, that would mess up a train, you know? But apparently in this game, they allow that. And I could fix that. I will in a, well, no, I'll do that right now. So I was going to tell you earlier, the reason why it's red going into the city, and I've explained this in previous videos, but just in case you missed it, the reason why it's red going into a city, if you look at the alert or the warning down below, the incline, oh no, not the incline, hold on. Tracks that start or end outside of a city must not touch a city. So in order to go through the white zone surrounding Liverpool, I have to actually go to a Liverpool station. That's all that is explaining. So when you see a message like that, just make sure it's going to the city. If it's not going to the city, then it cannot even touch. And I've done tests in previous games. You can't even touch the simplest piece of a corner right here. I have done parallel where I've gone like a track start here and then go to the start here and just be parallel along this and not touch it. But as it turns, it cannot touch the piece of that corner. Anyway, all that to fix the gap there. That is a really high bridge. What if I drop that? Okay. Doesn't need to be so high, does it? And again, it's touching the flipping track. I know it probably doesn't matter. To me it does. It's a visual thing. And if you're watching this, makers of Railway Empire, I forgot the name. It'll come to me in a minute, maybe. To the developers, this right here is annoying. This right here is annoying. Yes, I like the extra support sticking out, but it doesn't have to go so far. There's no reason for that. To fix that, I have to go up higher, and it doesn't like that. It's just, there's no reason for it. Why? Calypso, why Calypso? That's the developer. I couldn't think of why Calypso. Why does it have to be like that? Fix that. It's annoying. Truly. Whatever. Because watch, it's going to look even worse when I put the second track on it. See? He didn't like it. Oops. Maybe that's how you fix it. Excuse me, sorry. Wow. Oh, maybe. Why the tussle? Wow. Well, I'm gonna call it quits. I'm gonna mess with this bridge for a little bit. Let it go offline. I don't see any comments. Not sure if anybody's sticking around. I want to have this fixed by the time you guys next come on. But the only thing I'm gonna do without live is just fix this bridge. I don't want to waste you guys any more time messing with it as you guys are sticking around trying to wait for me to solve this. So it is a little bit past an hour and a half. Thank you all for showing up. Have yourselves a good day. I'm waiting for the delay to catch up, so you guys might see me edit this bridge a little bit more, but once the delay looks like it's on the bridge, I will probably cancel out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse engineer the bridge. And I've mentioned before having extra designs. So this is where I'm going to use this. I'm going to go to number 2. So notice the bridge now disappeared, only because I was on the right side, the window, it says track planning 205. If this is still being recorded, which live it will be, but I'm not sure if I'll cut this out after the edit. No, that is kind of why. Well, no, I can bend it. Bend it like Beckham. No, just kidding. How? Oh, I was better off on the lane side. Thanks again, everybody, joining me.